And we're back here. Woo-wee. Look who's in the house, folks. Came back from Omaha with the flu. How bad was that? How cold was it there, first of all?
Well, first of all, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. It's not Ramadan. Whatever you celebrate, we're happy to be here. What a week I've had. I got called to Omaha during this cold spell, but I was with family and friends that I haven't seen in so long, and so the cold didn't really bother me. I had kind of prepared for it. My issue was because of this move. Didn't have a suit, didn't have dress shoes, didn't have an overcoat, so I dealt with some adversity, but it was really my aunt, 92. It was an unbelievable family celebration that was great.
Yeah.
However, the Omaha family that received all of us, none of my 7 siblings live in Omaha. We all converged in. There was a terrible flu in Omaha, and I got it kind of starting on the plane ride back Saturday, and then had to deal with that. But I'm back. I'm 100%. I feel like a million, dealing with the last stages of a home remodel, dealing with a city of Phoenix house inspector's name's Brian Gleason. This dude is great.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to bash him like I do with people.
No, he's great. He's helped us. He's helped us tremendously.
Yeah.
A lot of times people have frustrations with the city of this, that, or the other thing.
Yeah.
But this dude here, worth his weight in gold. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks.
And I alluded that you had to go out of town for a family thing and everything, but you said 94-year-old aunt.
92.
92. What a life.
My Uncle Lou and my dad Vince, we were raised at my grandparents' house as one family, and so the cousins, as we call them, that live, they're all in Omaha, and none of my 7 brothers and sisters.
You all have moved on.
We've all gone out. They've all stayed there except for one. She was just a great gal, second mother. I can't say enough. And when you get 92 years, I got 84 out of my father. How do you complain? The complaint department's on the 26th floor.
That's the thing, right? Yeah.
So you'd be thankful for what you got, especially this time of year. It was great to see them. Saw some old cohorts at the Holiday Lounge in Omaha. When I was feeling good and didn't know what was about to hit me.
Exactly.
So it was overall, it was really great.
So sad occasion to go, but you got to rekindle those relationships and everything. So I kind of hinted to it last week because some people were like, "Oh, Lou's blowing you off end of the year," and I was like, "No, people.
No, this is crunch time, people. Yes. Lou don't blow off nothing."
I was like, "Trust me, Lou wants to be here. To do it and stuff like that." So no, we missed you last week, of course. Obviously, that's family's more important. But UFC wrapped up last week for the year. I don't know if you've before we get into that and everything, let's do your intros. I've noticed something about our trending here lately in terms of analytics and stuff. We're getting some of those European and people that watch us when the fights are over there. We're getting more of them tuning in every week with you as well. They haven't gone away, right? Usually it was they come and they'd go, and they've been kind of sticking around on there. So reintroduce yourself to everybody for the new people coming in and people over there. What you're doing for this new year for your website and everything, and just reiterate that to everybody again so we get everybody up to speed with you.
Right. Well, first of all, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for dedicated listeners. I know Robert Chalmers is one, very vocal, and any of you ever wishing to comment, please do. The fact that we're seeing analytics from other parts, other countries, is so flattering. I can't say enough about that support. I am a sports handicapper, have been all my life, even before it was legal in vogue, and I walked around like, some guy with leprosy. So now, actually, it's the opposite, and guys like Steve and VSIN are really generous enough to give me some time on their network. So I only shoot with a rifle, not a shotgun, and that means it's the UFC, it's the NFL, it's hockey playoffs, and it's College World Series. And College World Series and the NFL have been going great this year. However, I lost money in the NHL playoffs this year. And the UFC now I ended up losing about just over 10 units. That's not ideal. And handicappers are supposed to win. However, handicappers are also supposed to be real. And I'm as real as it gets. If I lose, you're going to hear it. And my reaction to losing was to take the paywall down for all of my sports. And what that does for me now is that you'll be able to get the Bout Business podcast every week by going to gamblu.com. That's the webpage. You can find out everything about me there. And before we get to the top band, if we could scroll down, Kobe, to the part there. There's the Sneak Teep podcast.
Go ahead and keep bringing it up, Kobe.
That's where you'll find each week when we start in the third week of January. That's where you will find the Bout Business podcast also. Free to everybody. I'm going to put myself out there like I used to, and I'm going to provide everything for free so everyone can see how I do. To me, putting myself on the spot builds great adversity and character, and I love doing that. So the sports I work and everything about me is on the top band of the webpage. We just did recently make our last 2025 contribution to the tab on the far right, the San Xavier mission that Steve is really a huge supporter of because he lets me mention it every week. The oldest mission in the United States is located just a touch south of Tucson, about 2 hours from here south. And they're doing really, really wonderful work for the community there, the San Xavier mission. There's a link there in red underlined. You can go there and find out all about the mission. I'd encourage you this day and age to make any contribution you could consider. Yet I know that people make contributions everywhere, but San Xavier mission doing great work, and we're getting ready for a banner 2026. I don't take setbacks easy, and so we're going to find out what I'm made of in 2026. starting with the UFC first card, which is like the 23rd or so of
January 24th. So we got a few weeks off.
How about Steve correcting me and telling me about the UFC? I love it. We've made a fan in him, and we want one by one UFC fans to continue to join.
And like I said, if you are watching us and everything with Uncle Lou, and you're not a gambler, you're not interested in gambling, he just changes your perspective on things. You know, I put $5 down on the UFC when you tell me to. I'm just doing it for fun and things to that stuff. But I've had conversations with people that I never thought I'd have conversations with on UFC stuff. Just because of what you bring to the pick table here, and I'm able to talk intelligently about it. So that's what you also bring. So for the non-gamblers, because there are some people that go, oh, gambling, nobody's interested in that. It's not just the gambling perspective that Lou brings you, folks, that you have that out there as well. So starting, I guess the week before the 24th, that Monday, you'll have a sneak teep, and then that Friday, you'll have the Bout Business for free on the website.
All available right on the gamblu.com webpage. You don't have to go there for either of those podcasts. Just go to Apple or Spotify, whatever it is that you get your podcast. We retweet it out here.
I got to get better at retweeting you out. I do it most of the time, but then sometimes you post them when I'm on air and I forget and stuff to that.
You support me immensely. Don't apologize.
And everything. So, you're obviously with your sickness and you being out of town for the family thing, daily blog, we'll get that updated. That's updated every week usually. From that side of it, it's still the UFC.
Thank you for reminding me. I got to get off my rear. We're trying to move into our new remodeled house.
Just blame the holidays. That's
I'm a juggler that can handle 2 potatoes, and right now I'm juggling 4. So you can imagine the mess.
Just as a programming note for everybody, I kind of gave everybody, my schedule for the next couple of weeks. You're going to be joining us on the next 2 Tuesdays before Christmas Eve. It's Wednesday, so you'll be joining us on Tuesday remote, and then the following week Tuesday remote as well. 8:00 next Tuesday, we'll get that final one figured out as well there. So Lou's not done here with NFL talk here this year, but coming up on Tuesday next week and the week after.
Listen, the NFL season runs through the end of January. We're not bailing out now. There's too much to talk about. There's a couple future bets still in balance.
Yes.
We got work to do, and we're here to do it. Just be cognizant of our date and time changes. Steve's been flexible enough to let me still come in and vomit all over you guys with whatever information may or may not stick.
Well, I got to get my information, Lou. That's I forget everybody else. It's
all,
for me.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, of course, UFC's wrapped up for the year. When will you have your end of the year UFC numbers and everything?
Well, I have them. I mean, the UFC, I didn't bring it. The UFC ended up at 65.4%, usually 62 or 63% favorites. So the favorites ran a little high after last year running extremely high, like 71%. Mm-hmm. That's no excuse for performance. Listen, Bill Parcells says you are what your record says you are, and I adhere to that. So at 84 and 107 or something, I ran about 46 or 7%, so just above the rate of dogs, but we didn't earn enough to overtake some of the mistakes I made. So some of the changes I'm going to be making in the next year, because I've been analyzing numbers, probably some fewer releases and a little bit more hay on each release, I think is going to be more appropriate. I think that by paring down the releases, I'll be able to manipulate that win percentage better. It's always been the way that I've reacted to it, and we'll see how we can do, because everyone will be able to see it. You don't have to go to the paywall now to get the UFC. So yeah. UFC wasn't what we wanted, but again, it is what it is. And the last month or so, basically what I tried to do was minimize loss. We were at 16 or 17 units. So we took, a third of that down to around the 10, and that's where it is, and that's what we record.
Yeah. I wonder, you probably don't break it down like this, I wonder what the numbers are for the numbered fights compared to and I'm gonna use specifically the Apex fights, because those get into some obscure fighters and things to that effect, obscure matchups. Do you break it down to those levels, or is it just overall?
I don't, because it just like one NFL week, you think, oh God, this card looks terrible, and you kill it. And then, because if I think, that's why pretty much I go half unit and unit bets, maybe once in a while a 2-unit bet. But if I'm going to tell you a 5-unit, I tell you it's going to lose, and then the 2 1-units will win. No, we're just flat bettors. I need to be better. And I look around, and here's everybody. Some guys bet 15 units on a card. I mean, that's incredible. There's a lot of ways to win, and I'm not here to find fault or, put on a pedestal anyone else. I'm really concerned with what we do here, and we're going to turn a few screws, improve, and get back next year. And having 5-6 weeks off is just really welcome.
Yeah, and it's January 24th. I just reiterate the reason why I remember that is because it's moving to Paramount next year. No more ESPN Plus, but you have to have a Paramount subscription. But no more. I'll be able to watch the numbered fights. No more pay-per-views out there. And they're starting off with a bang. 2 numbered fights to start the year next year. January 24th at T-Mobile, and then they go to Australia the 31st on a Saturday
for a whale
for 324, 325. So they're giving Paramount what Paramount probably bought when they bought the package and everything. After that, before they go Apex, and then then they start traveling around. So it is going to be a good start to the year next year coming up here in the UFC. But we have several weeks before we get to that, Lou. Woo!
And it's all NFL. So really how great is that schedule that I can really now focus in on crunch time in the NFL, because we have from today until NFC, AFC championship games. That's when my season will end. Will I have a handful of props and some bets for the Super Bowl? You're darn right I will. But if I haven't made my money in the NFL by the time the Super Bowl comes, I ain't gonna. And we're having a good NFL season, fortunately, and we're going to continue to have one all the way here through the championship week.
Yeah, the this NFL season has just been both, for me at least, in terms of watching it from the game perspective, off and on. So let's get into that NFL side and everything with everybody. If you got questions also for Lou going into a weekend, just pay attention to his schedule. You can text us at that 623-252-6670, no matter where you are. It's just like texting your buddies. We don't respond there. You can get those in. So like next Tuesday, you got some stuff for Lou. He comes on at 8 o'clock, man. Text those in, Monday night for this Christmas game. Because those Christmas games have become kind of duds, in terms of excitement to watch them in playoff odds with some of those teams
Not
going
this
out
year.
of it. But that's the thing. The gambling side of it's going to give you some different perspectives. Then, of course, hit us up at TME Sports Show as well on X and give us a follow there. And look, we'd love to have your participation on this as well. And, tonight, this is interesting. We got some changes, right? Tua's getting benched this week. A lot of teams eliminated from the playoffs. Do they, like, for instance, the Chiefs? We know the Cardinals are kind of, quote unquote, quitting, but they have a possibly beatable opponent this weekend, maybe. But then you got other teams, like the Chiefs that aren't in this position, just lost their quarterback. How is that? How do they look? We'll talk about all those, but we got a dandy of a Thursday night football game tonight, Lou.
It's really not a dandy, Steve. It's a playoff game.
That's what
that's
what I mean. For a Thursday night football game.
Yeah, I'm just starting it out with a little bit of vigor.
This is second week in a row where it's basically playoff atmosphere going into this game on a Thursday night. Normally Thursday nights aren't like this. Rams Seahawks tonight, both 11-3 coming into this game tonight. This is going to be exciting. I'm excited for this one in Seattle, no less. So it's going to be cold. Those LA boys have to go up there. Puka looks to be okay, but we'll see, right, in this cold weather?
I'm not worried. It's not that cold. It's not that cold. Wind and rain, however, that will affect the game. And early in the week, listen, this look-ahead total, 47.5. You look it up now, 42.5.
Yeah, it really dropped.
Monday, my teaser, it took us up to 57.5. So, again, Sunday night and Monday, I'm looking where the weather's going to be. Where's the other weather? Cleveland, Buffalo. That total's been affected. There's also weather in Chicago, and that total's going up. So we'll talk about all these, but this game tonight is a legit playoff game. It's the two best teams in the NFC by my grading. You look at them DVOA, Rams 1 on offense, 3 on defense. Seattle 9 on offense, 1 on defense. It's going to be an awesome game in a game where Seattle went to L.A. earlier in the season, got blown out, and then came back frantically. And everybody wants to be an expert. Oh, Sam Darnold, no, he can't do this, he can't do that. Listen, I'm going to dispel a lot of myths today. Kansas City's one of them. The Cardinals are another one. Everybody on one side, you better hear the other side, because the other side might be the right side. Might be. Seattle has revenge on their minds. Sam Darnold's been hearing all his life that he can't do it, and yet here he is in the MVP running. Athletes that hang around and don't curl up and run away, and that's 99% of them, don't curl up and run away, want to kick the door in. Believe me, there's focus and motivation in Seattle, and the winner of this game is going to get the number 1 seed. We look ahead lines. I mentioned the total. The look-ahead line here was picked. Now we see Seattle getting 1.5, and dadgummit, I'm not happy with that. I want to take Seattle. I want to like Seattle, but the only way to play it now would be to take a look at the Rams on a 6-point tease up to 7.5, but those are priced so putridly that you can't play them anymore. So I really think that the side tonight might be the Rams, but more importantly, even though I probably not toy with that, it was the total. It's just now too late to play with that unless you want to take a 10-point or a 7-point teaser and move it up to, say, 49.5 and go under. I think the weather and the rain and the wind are going to affect things. But you got the
two defenses are going to affect
brilliant,
things too,
no
right?
question, Steve. Two brilliant defenses. And really the issue I think that I see, why would I lean to the Rams? Because Seattle's run game's never gotten on track. And if you remember in their first game, they couldn't run. They became one-dimensional, and the Rams teed off on them. And so Seattle's 23rd ranked rush offense going against the 4th ranked rush defense for the Rams, it, to me, is the matchup of the night. Seattle must find a way to run the ball and keep that potent Ram offense, even without the Taco Bell kid on the field, Devontae Adams.
Yes.
So fascinating game. I can't wait to watch.
Taco Bell kid.
Well, I just,
He has a Taco Bell in his house in Vegas, if you don't know what Lou's talking about.
Yeah, and I haven't been invited either. So great game. Seattle -1 in turnovers. L.A. Rams +9 in turnovers. If that holds, L.A., it's all L.A. Both teams 10-4 against the spread. So something going to give here. We get a playoff game right before Christmas. The winners in this deal are the fans.
The interesting thing is, I look at stats like time of possession a lot just to see if you can control the ball. I mean, these teams are basically even. 29-59 here for the Rams, 29-39 for the Seahawks. I mean, these defenses are, really, really good, and just who's the offense that's going to go? I don't know. I know 50 looks better for the under, but like you said, then you add the weather into that. We could see a 10-7, 14-13 type of a ball game tonight, and enjoy it a lot because this is playoff atmosphere for these guys. And the winner of this team takes the lead in the division of this game. Takes the lead in the division as well on this Thursday
division
night.
and conference.
Yes.
The winner of this game probably has the number 1 seed. They're playing for a lot. It's a play. I mean, again, the integrity of this gamble can't be better because both teams are going to give 110% to win this game. And boy, I really want to like Seattle, but I have to go with my numbers. It's head over heart, and there's going to be a couple other games we talk about here today. Same thing.
Yeah, so that's how we start the NFL week. By the way, the previous matchup that you alluded to, it was middle of November, if I remember correct. 21-19 was the final in that game. So even that was a low
Seattle
scoring.
and LA?
Yeah.
I would have told you it was 34-32 or something like that. So I don't.
Yeah. So
Glad you looked it up.
Going to be a close game here. Coming up for these guys. Division foes battling it out on Thursday night on Amazon Prime. What else can you get? And Al Michaels will sleep through it all. That's a commentator comment I got there. But so it's going to be fun to start off this season on a Thursday night. Now, like you said, there's plenty of other games coming. Obviously, I think both of these teams are making the playoffs tonight. It's just who wins the division
and who gets 5
and who doesn't and stuff to that effect. Exactly. That's the problem with this, right? You don't win the division, man. You go from good seeding and you drop way down, kind of what happened to the Bears last week. But then another game this week. Now, Commanders have benched their quarterback. He's been hurt all year, Jaden Daniels. But they have the Eagles at 9-5 coming to this game on Saturday, this week. Don't forget, Saturday games start this week as well. My only question on this game is, the Eagles can win it and things to that effect here. They're 6.5-point favorites, though. Over-under in this game is 44.5. The only reason I even bring up this game is just, one, it's Saturday at 3 p.m. our time, but then two, I'm just not sold on the Eagles. What's the betting? Are people still jumping on the betting bandwagon of the Eagles?
In the teaser that I used this week, a 3-team 10-point teaser, I had Seattle and the Rams under the 57.5. I took the Eagles plus 3.5. That line was 6.5 early in the week. The look ahead was 5.5. A little bit of action onto the Eagles. And it's expected. Well, the Eagles are in the playoffs. They still want to win, and everybody thinks that because the quarterback for Washington's out, they're folding up their tent and going away. Listen,
that's the question.
There's not one team quitting in the NFL. Not one. There's not one coaching staff that are quitting. They're not doing that. If you think that's the case, you're missing the foundation of football. These guys are pros. They're playing for contracts. You telling me I'm a second string running back and they put me in that I'm lackadaisical because I'm out of the playoffs? Heck no, I'm playing for money. I'm playing for next year. I want someone to see me. I want to improve my position within the league. The eye in the sky don't lie, and the eye going to be shooting film, and every one of those players is going to be playing. Make no mistake about it. When you hear people, well, hey, the Chiefs been in the playoffs 10 straight years. They got nothing to play for. Take Tennessee. Take that and vomit it out because it is absolutely wrong. 100% wrong.
This is what I love about Lou, folks, is he takes everything I said all week long about these teams and throws it in my face.
You're not the. It's all. It's the whole.
Everywhere.
It's the whole. Even the guys on VSIN, Dave Ross and Jensen Lewis, my dear buddies, this morning. Oh yeah, the Chiefs. Yeah, they're quit. They don't want to play. Yeah. But they're. Are you kidding me?
Most people just don't want to ruffle up the host, and Lou just comes in and goes, "Not so fast, Steve."
I'm gonna give you strong opinions. It's up to you listeners to decide. Yes. How you want to then?
No, you make me rethink it. Every week when I go, this team's going to be awful. I go, what does Lou say about that? In my mind, I hear you talking to me to make me. That's what I'm saying. You give a different perspective. to make you think about it out there. And that's why I brought up that Eagles-Commanders game, one Saturday, but then two. I just not sold on those Eagles. They've clinched the playoff berth in that division. I mean, Cowboys have like a 1% chance to make the playoffs now. And everything, and it just feels like kind of a letdown game. But if it was 5.5 was a look ahead, and it's moved to 6.5, obviously people are putting money on the Eagles.
And who are the Eagles? Oh, you mean they're last year's Super Bowl champions? Come on, you telling me that? Yeah, no, they're going to go out there now. Is it going to be? No, it's not going to be easy. This is a division foe. There's hatred here between these two teams since I was in diapers in the early 60s, late 50s. Come on. These teams know each other. It's going to be a hard-fought game. And would I give 6 with the Eagles? No. 6.5? No, but I'll take 3.5. And which is what I did. Again, I'm very strong on trying to manipulate numbers into my favor. And if I can get those Eagles in leg 2, I got to get that under tonight, and that's no given. So there's work to do, but I like the Eagles turn to plus 3.5. They lose in a field goal game, and everybody can say, Lou, I told you so, I told you so. And I can say, where's that deposit slip?
I had 3.5, exactly. The other game on Saturday, this is a doozy in my eyes, Packers-Bears. Now, my question obviously on this is, you've been talking about this Packers defense as one of the best in the NFL with your studies lately. Well, obviously they lost a big part of that with Micah Parsons last week with his ACL tear and things to that effect. The 9-4-1 Packers go to your Chicago Bears at 10-4. They're riding high right now. Still lead the lead in turnover differential. They get those turnovers. But what are the thoughts on the Packers with the Micah Parsons loss? Right now they're favored by 1.5 going into this. Over/under is 46.5 coming into this game. And I think you said that line moved, right? What was the opener on the total?
Yeah, I'm seeing Circa pick, Superbook pick.
Okay.
So I see picks. At Caesars, I see Chicago -1, yet BetMGM has Green Bay -1.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means make sure you have 2 or 3 places that you're shopping so that you can get the advantage of your particular team. But this look-ahead line was Green Bay 3, 46.5.
Okay.
The 46.5 part hasn't really changed, which scares me because it's going to be cold and somewhat windy in Chicago. But really, now I get Green Bay. I can find them at a pick instead of having to give 3. That's a huge overreaction. Micah Parsons missing? Yeah. He's a point. All right, not 3.
I was wondering on the over-under. The over-under hasn't changed from 46.5. That whether you like it or not, that Packers defense gets worse without Micah Parsons in there. How much worse is the question. Obviously, people don't think it's that big of a worse if it over-under stays at 46.5.
Yeah, I think they're overlooking weather. I lean to the under there just a touch, but I'm looking at the 11th ranked Chicago offense, a potent offense that's going to match up well with the 13th ranked Green Bay defense. Okay. And they're going to have, again, decades of hatred between these teams. And yet you got the Green Bay 4th ranked offense with the 11th ranked rushing offense. Okay. And they're going against the 22nd ranked Bear defense. And where's the Bears' softest part? The 28th ranked rush D. Green Bay's recipe is to don't worry about Micah Parsons. Run the ball down the Bears' throat all night long. Keep this tight and low scoring, win the game, and get out of here. I believe that's exactly what's going to happen.
And this is also Packers are a game behind the Chicago Bears in that division. So this is a big game for the Packers. Do you ever, when you look at these games, do you ever wonder, like the Bears, they're new to this position, right? New head coach, even though he was there with Detroit a couple times. But new head coach, quarterback's obviously never been in this position before, playoff atmosphere. Do you worry about that at all coming into these games? And the Packers obviously have a lot of that with Jordan Love in them.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're trying hard, but yes, you got a quarterback's never been there before, and yet the kid on the other side's got playoff experience, and so there is a mismatch there. A coaching mismatch, I wouldn't say mismatch, but surely the edge is in Green Bay. Really, I also really like to look at against the spread. 9-5 Chicago, 6-8 Green Bay leads me to think they might want to even that out a little bit. However, here is the thing. Anyone that can predict turnovers will find out who the winner of this game is. Chicago's net turnovers plus 20 on the season. Green Bay plus 3. So if that holds, it's going to be tough on Green Bay. So if the turnover is even, meaning each guy has a negative, each team has -1, I really think this is a good spot for Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, the turnovers are there's no secret to the Bears defense. The turnovers are what have kept them in games and won a lot of games for them, getting multiple in a game. So those are the Saturday games. That's going to – look, we got – it's rare the NFL gives us these types of matchups. Like I said, Eagles, Commanders, take it or leave it, but definitely that Packers-Bear game, tonight's game as well. So when we come back here, let's get into these Sunday games as well because, I mean, we got another one, Buccaneers-Panthers, 2 7-7 teams battling for their division lead. Who would have said that to begin the season coming up here? And then some quarterback stuff that maybe we can find some way to play some of these games with quarterback situations. Come on back, folks. The main event. We're back here. If only you guys could see. We got to do, I've always toyed the idea of like a behind the scenes, like during commercial breaks, what we do. You know, I'm sitting here swigging on my Chick-fil-A lemonade. Lou's over here just, you know, working everything he can. He's texting, he's talking, he's texting, he's emailing.
But I did check that bag, that Chick-fil-A bag,
He did.
to see what was in there. You know, when I was in the airport waiting to come back, I can't tell you how many, all these people going to the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I've never eaten there. It must be really good because they were lined up.
I'm not a big fan of Chick-fil-A. This is a yogurt parfait, but I do get the chicken biscuit in the morning, just plain. It's to die for. The biscuit's soft. It like crumbles. You get out of your car and it's just down the front of your shirt.
I'm on this huge diet right
I'm
now.
sorry. Yeah,
The
that's true. I
biscuit
forgot about
just
that.
sounds so good.
Their chicken sandwiches, like there's just the chicken just melts in your mouth. I don't know what they do differently than other places. But that's all. I don't get anything else there. I love their lemonade. It's like fresh lemonade and stuff. Because I'm trying to. I know lemonade's not the best for you, but I'm trying to get off soda.
Yeah, I never drank soda.
So I've switched to like a lemonade, thing, but still not good for you with all the sugar and stuff.
Transition to Arnold. You take a little of that.
I'm not a tea guy, so I'm going to try. I'm going to try those. This is how stupid I am. I'm going to try because the doctors keep going, get off of it because my ankles. I have ankle problems and stuff, and the fructose syrup gets in there and turns into problems and everything. They keep trying to tell me those probiotic drinks that taste. They say it tastes just like soda, and I'm like, it can't taste just like soda.
Like Celsius and that stuff.
Yeah,
All these young
that's
kids
the energy
drink
drinks.
crap.
But like, there's one like Coke makes one called Simply Pop. There's one called Poppy. They're just like they're flavored water, basically, kind of a deal. And they're like, oh, it tastes just like. And I'm like, there's no way it tastes just like soda.
Water, meat, and vegetables is all I've eaten since like November 19th. In Omaha, we went to pizza. Everybody ate pizza. I had one piece and a big salad. However, I did cheat. There's a joint in Omaha called Broncos. I'm telling you, it's the best gut-busting burgers ever. Right up there with Lucky Boy on 16th Street and Osborne here in Phoenix. And I did do one double cheese. I had to. I couldn't get to Omaha and not do it.
But did you put lettuce on there? That's like a salad.
On the burger?
Yeah.
No. They make a double cheeseburger, and they make them with onions, and I can't eat onions. So I order it double cheese, no onion, so they have to make it fresh right there. So I was piping hot.
That's the key. You always order the little treat for you guys at fast food places. I don't eat too many fast food places other than like a breakfast thing. But I always order a little bit different on the menu, so they have to make it fresh for you.
Bingo.
That's the secret when you go places.
Yes.
Without something, and they have to cook it differently. But, it's fun getting old, isn't it, Lou?
No.
So we'll get into the Sunday games now with, of course, Uncle Lou. Gamblou.com, at Gamblou on X as well. And don't forget, hit us up at TME Sports Show or text us at the 623-252-6670 out there. And then we get these Sunday games here where first game here, this is an amazing matchup that nobody would have predicted. Buccaneers-Panthers is the first one I want to bring up here. Last time we saw the Buccaneers, that was last Thursday night, and their head coach, they lost another game, 6 of 8 or something, and their head coach lost his mind on the press conference. I've read since then that he might have lost the locker room with his little antics last Thursday. That's a little side stuff there. But two teams 7-7 battling it out for the playoffs here. And this is a big game on Sunday for the Panthers, folks.
First of all, the DVOA I did this week only pertains to teams really that are still kind of like playoff type of games.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I did New England and Baltimore. Yeah, I prepped Tampa and Carolina. And I prepped Arizona and Atlanta because even though that doesn't fit because Steve wants to talk about it, we're here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
But some of these games I'm not even looking at. I'm trying to get myself prepared for playoff-style matchups and handicapping, which is what I'm going to be doing the next 5 or 6 weeks. So we want to talk about Tampa and Carolina.
Well, the loser of this game is going to be outside looking in. The winner of this division is probably going to be the only playoff team. There's some things can happen where they can both get in with a wild card, but that's even more important to this is there's no wild card really to fall back on, at least at this moment, for the loser on this game coming up.
Yeah, this conference has a real history of last to first a lot of times, and even though Tampa's won it a few years in a row, Carolina's a bigger threat than folks say. And when I went into this handicap, I was all about let's find a way to like Carolina, but I can't. 17th ranked Tampa offense against the 24th ranked Carolina defense, 27th against the run. If you're 25 to 32 against the run on D, you're gutless. Okay? And so Tampa +9 turnover, Carolina -1. Carolina is 8-6 against the spread. Tampa 5-9. Every indicator that I track tells me it's Tampa. I'm not worried about Bowles'
meltdown.
No, because he wasn't talking to the press and the public. He was talking to his team.
He's sending the message,
and
to
his
the
team loves him. They've been there a long time. This guy ain't a bad coach. He's a darn good coach. I look for a good effort from Tampa. I think that while I want to like Carolina, 27th ranked rush defense, 24th ranked passing defense, I just don't know if that's really a playoff kind of team. And I'm hearing a lot of guys, Tampa only gets in, they're dangerous. Oh, no, they're not. That's all I have to say on that.
I'll just say this from that perspective. I didn't hear you mention it, but I mean, they've lost 6 of 8. They are in a spiral down, and it doesn't look like they know how to get out of it. And that worries teams like that, like the Cardinals are in right now. I know they're out of the playoffs, but how do you get out of that in mid-season? It's very hard to do, and every game compounds it and compounds it. That's what worries me about Tampa Bay against the Panthers this weekend. Panthers they know they don't belong here. They know they're lucky to be here, and Tampa Bay's like, how do we fix this? What do we need to do? That's what worries me about Tampa, and they're going to Carolina on top of it.
Yeah,
so it's not even a home game.
In many ways, those are things that fans worry about. Okay, but I will say this. The fact that Carolina, after being dog meat for so long, they believe, and Tampa's a little tight, trying to figure it out and find it again, that is an indicator for Carolina, at least as far as I'm concerned. They're at home. They've got everything to play for. Yeah. So there's a lot of positive mojo in Carolina. If they could just find a way to get a little bit of a lead, maybe get a turnover, this thing could go their way. But you got all the experience with the playoffs on one side. You got the better quarterback on one side. You have arguably the better coach. We'll see after this weekend on the other side. And so for those reasons, this is not a game I intend on playing, but I'm sure interested to see how it goes.
Well, I'll even go a step farther. If Tampa Bay has a 14, 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, watch that live betting on Carolina, because Tampa Bay has given up big leads in the fourth quarter, especially last Thursday night and a couple times this year. So watch the live action numbers if that does happen again for Carolina to come back.
Carolina's potency on offense is the running game. If they get behind and they're forced to throw with that 26th ranked passing offense, they better not get behind.
Exactly.
That's just my take.
My favorite part about this whole NFC South division is everybody is negative net points in the points for and points against. This division, that's like when you said that everybody's like, oh, Tampa gets in, they're a threat. No, they're awful.
I don't think they are. You're 2 years behind. 2 years ago they beat Philly. Last year they did decent. This year, no. No, well, you're going to have to find somebody else in the NFC. I think there's teams. I just don't think it's Tampa.
So the other, I don't know how much you did prep on this game, but it intrigues me because it's Chargers going to Dallas. Dallas had a chance to stay playoff alive last week and lost. They're 1% chance to continue on at 6-7-1 to make the playoffs. So they're basically eliminated. They still can fight, whatever. In this thing. The reason why I'm asking about this game is because they got the Chargers going to Dallas this weekend. The Chargers are 10-4, quietly 10-4. If I said, what's the Chargers record? Most people would probably think it's worse than what it is going to this game. Is this a game you can look at to where the Cowboys can stick their heads up and beat the Chargers in this game with the numbers the way they are?
Yeah, again, no quit in Dallas. They're playing. That offense is potent. The problem is it's a bad matchup for them. Dallas is 8th ranked offense, and they're good. They can pass too, 9th. But it's going up against the 9th-ranked LA Chargers defense. The Chargers specialize in pass defense, whereas their softness is running. So we may see Dallas run on them a little bit. Meanwhile, the Chargers offense is where they really have their challenges, have had some injuries on the offensive line, just got a running back. Yeah. But you know what the elixir is for a really sluggish, slow offense can't find themselves? Groping around at night.
A bad defense?
A terrible defense.
The Cowboys defense, if you want to be specific.
Cowboys defense. They're a perfect elixir. I think this has a chance to be competitive. If the Chargers can keep this thing low scoring, I think they got a great shot. Now, this total went from 47.5 to 49.5. That's not a good Charger indicator.
Yeah, that tells you that people are expecting Cowboys to go running. Well, the other side of it, that's why I brought up this game. I was shocked to see Cowboys 2.5-point favorites coming into this game, which would make sense if the line has moved, if the over total has moved up 2.5 points. That would make sense because people are thinking the Cowboys are going to put up a ton of points coming to this game, and the Chargers I don't think can get into a shootout against the Cowboys. So that's just an intriguing side of that game coming up here this weekend. Then you got, I asked about this earlier. I know it's nothing playoff bound here, anything to that effect, but Chiefs-Titans here, right? Chiefs eliminated, no Patrick Mahomes. Gardner Minshew getting the start here in Kansas City this week. Titans are what they are. They have 2 wins on the season. Struggling team, interim head coach, rookie quarterback. But do you get to worry at all on the psyche of the Chiefs being eliminated from the playoffs, not having their star quarterback? What could happen there? You say guys don't quit. I'll say sometimes guys make business decisions at this point in the season and stuff to that effect. There's something you can find here. Chiefs right now are 3-point favorites. Over-under is only 37.5 going into this game.
The only guy made a business decision here might be Kelsey because he talked in an interview, the Chiefs this, the Chiefs that, Mahomes this, Mahomes that. But what about Noah Gray? One of the best second-string tight ends. You think he's going to quit? Get the heck out of here. This is a really solid Chief team. This is a really solid coached team. There's no quit in this team. They were 10.5 with Mahomes. Now they're 3, and everybody all of a sudden loves Tennessee, who can't find their own rear end with 2 hands and an Indian guide.
It moved that much.
Mahomes is 6-7 points to the. I got no problem with the line. I got problems with people thinking that Tennessee's live because they know the Chiefs have quit because they get out of here. This is the easiest game on the board. Chiefs all day long.
Over under 37.5 seems low. I mean, obviously Mahomes not being in there helps.
And Minshew can play. Yeah,
I actually like Minshew. I hate to admit this publicly, but I actually like Minshew. I think he's going to do. He's not going to be Mahomes, but I think he's going to do all right.
Yeah, he's not Mahomes, but Minshew can play.
That's what I mean. That's a low over under, unless there's weather there in Tennessee that I don't know about.
Not terrible, and it's a low total because you got no Mahomes. You got a Chief offense kind of struggling anyway, and Tennessee is putrid on offense. So none of that scares me, except I know I can get the Chiefs, and I'm going to sit back and be quiet and let all the experts tell everybody how live Tennessee is. And then by the time Sunday comes, if you can get that 2.5, number 1, take it. Then number 2, go to church and give thanks.
Next up, again, non-playoff implications, but I played the clips when you were first getting in here about Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow and the quarterback situation there. I've come to the conclusion Joe Burrow is tired of Zach Taylor, and I think that's going to be the move in the offseason. But then you got the Dolphins with benching Tua as well this weekend in this game. No playoff implications here. 4-10 Bengals, 6-8 Dolphins, but there's a lot of question marks around both of these teams coming into coming into this game, and I just had the numbers here I was looking at, and I can't find them now, of course. 4.5-point favorites for the Bengals coming to this, over under 47.5. That seems like a big over for me coming into this game with a rookie quarterback starting for the Dolphins. Unless the Bengals are going to put up a bunch. Is there a play here at all with this number?
Not a game I'm even interested in, but I do want to comment on it. So the total started at 50.5, and why would it move down? No, Tua. I get it. And you're looking at Miami that just coming off a Monday Night Football game, short week, advantage Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got the stars. Burrow's still a pro. If he doesn't want to be there next year, you think he's going to go out there and lay an egg?
Yeah, he's going to be all right.
Come on, man. And you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, hopefully, is back from concussion. I hate the fact that you got to give so many points with Cincy because it was a pick before a week ago in the look ahead.
That much.
Yeah, it has. So
is that because Tua went out? Tua can't be that many points, can he?
I think it's because they see Cincinnati as superior to Miami, and again, none of these players have quit on either team. In fact, why would you make a quarterback switch so late? Because the coach hasn't quit for Miami; he's coaching for his job. Yes. Make little mistake about it, people. No one's quit in the NFL this week. And I don't have a handicap on the game except to tell you, set your Swiss watch to the fact that no one's quit.
Then we'll go to the local team here. Falcons coming to Phoenix here against the Cardinals. Obviously, no playoff implications for either of these teams. From a fan perspective, Lou, I can tell you, you don't like the word quit, so I'll use a different word on here. Cardinals have faded, and they're definitely making business decisions on the defensive side in terms of tackling. We talked about the tackling situation earlier in the show. Falcons, on the other hand, at 5-9, they're still battling, and Kirk Cousins as their quarterback is putting some stuff together. Keeping them competitive in games doesn't mean they win them coming into this game here with the Falcons coming to town. Falcons are 2.5-point favorites, over under 47.5 coming to this game. Bijan Robinson's coming back home, local kid here, well, from Tucson, but local to the area here, coming back home. He's going to have a big fan base there. Anything to look at in this game? Because going to the Falcons.
Bijan Robinson's from Tucson.
Yeah, he went to Tucson High School. Yeah,
then
went to Texas as a university, and then onward.
I knew Texas. How about that old Pueblo? I love Tucson. Okay, so this game. Look ahead line was a pick and 44.5. Now it's 3. I know you see a 2.5.
Well, 2.5 on
one
FanDuel.
Place you look, but I'm looking at 10 places, and there's all kinds of 3s out there. Too much overreaction. The Cardinals haven't quit. Yeah, you think this guy doesn't tackle and that guy doesn't tackle. Maybe they got – have you seen good form tackling in the NFL this year? No one tackles well in the NFL. This is all Arizona on the same premise that I'm high on Kansas City. Arizona hasn't quit. They're playing for jobs for next year. Coach is coaching for his job.
Absolutely.
This is a great spot for Arizona because if a week ago I would have had to take a pick. Now I'm getting 3 points at home. I'll do better yet. Maybe take the 7 and move them up to 10. I think this is a really tight game. One where Atlanta's advantage is their number 7 rush offense faced against the 25 ranked rush defense for Arizona. Atlanta wants to go out there, control the ball, get a lead, and just play ball control.
They don't want Kirk Cousins throwing the football very much.
Kirk Cousins is the most abused second-string quarterback in the history of the NFL. He's a highly intelligent guy.
Yes.
In Washington, they pick RG3, and then 2 picks later, they pick Kirk Cousins. He's smart. He's mature. He's professional. He hasn't forgotten how to play. He's totally underrated. I'm all about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he has those games, Lou, where he throws 5 interceptions and looks like garbage.
Yeah, he's not surrounded by a bunch of stalwarts.
But that's where the running game's going to come in. I expect to see the Falcons just hand the ball off to their guys and do it. I agree with you. This isn't going to be a blowout game. Cardinals will be in this game. And you, of course, like the Cardinals in terms of the numbers that they got there.
At 3.
At that point.
At 2.5, But I think
so. Shop it around and find. Well, everywhere's 3 except for FanDuel. So
any
go anywhere
place
else.
You're considering a dog in any sport, but most especially football. These games I'm talking about. Don't be in a hurry to go take it now. Let's let all the Joes, not the pros, the Joes, get their brains beat in tonight. I think there's some college
There's a
game.
bowl
Then
game
there's a
tonight.
whole bunch of stuff Saturday. Let them get their brains beat out on that stuff, and then go in overreacting on Sunday, and you might get 3.5
Yeah, you
on
got-
the
you got
Cardinals.
the-
I doubt it, but I'd try.
You got the college football playoffs on Saturday, 3 games. So people might lose and need to catch up coming up on Sunday as well. Let's get back into the playoff games here now with Jaguars Broncos coming to this one. 12-2 Denver Broncos. Lou's been high on them all season long. Jaguars are 10-4 coming to this, going to Denver. So warm weather, cold city coming up here. It's going to Broncos defense is very physical there. Broncos are 3-point favorites coming to this. Over under 46.5. Lou, talk to us about this one.
Yeah, tight game. Two evenly matched teams, defensively based. Denver tends to play really tight. They want to win 19-17. Make no mistake about it. And this is a 19-17 kind of a game, if you want my opinion. I think it would behoove Denver to lay an egg before the playoffs. They're in an inside track for number one positioning. I know they don't want to lose, but what have they run 10 straight now?
Yeah.
So this is Jacksonville or bust. And again, that doesn't mean I'm not high on Denver. If Denver finds a way to lose this game, I could see their odds adjust a little bit, and that's when I'll get very involved in aggressive moves, AFC and Super Bowl for Denver. Right now, they're priced too low, but if you got them early in the year at 14-1 when I was touting them and everybody was on Kansas City, you don't have to worry about 3-1 or 2-1.
By 11 in a row, we shorted them one.
Excuse me, 11 in a row.
How dare us.
I mean, if Denver goes into the playoffs, a 12 straight or 13 straight, they're ripe.
You have to worry about it,
They're
right?
ripe. But
they're one game ahead of New England for the best record in the AFC right now. So if they can technically afford to lose one and still get that one seed. But like you said, I don't know, it might be too early. They've clinched. They're the only team that's clinched a playoff spot as well coming into it. So I imagine they would try for that number one seed though, because you want to play in Denver, right? With that weather, that late December, mid-December weather.
It could be 63. You want to play in Denver with that altitude. That's the advantage.
That's the other side of it as well. So in this game, 3-point favorites for the Broncos here. That'll be a fun, exciting. I just worry about warm weather teams going into those environments. Not that they become weak. Games can go sideways for them.
Honestly, Steve, that's legit. That's a legit concern. Cold, you can't get away from. You tell yourself it ain't cold, but it's cold. I remember
Things hurt more.
A million years ago, it was cold when I played, and we'd be out there in short sleeves and such. The key to playing in the cold is to be in condition, break a full sweat before you start to play, and never, for that 3-hour period, never let the sweat go away. So you don't stand there cold. You got 5 layers on, and you continue to sweat and stay warm while you're on the sideline. And then when you go out there, strip all that stuff off. And you don't have to worry about sweating when you're in the heat of battle. And to me, I think it's a real thing. Especially for Miami. We'll see what it is in Jacksonville. I think the biggest thing for Jacksonville is how's Tannehill going to play. Excuse me.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's a
Same guy.
slip there, right? Yeah.
Same guy.
Well, that's the other side of it. Trevor Lawrence, he's one of those quarterbacks. He's been playing well at the Cardinals games where he was terrible. But after that, he's been playing well since that Cardinals game. So
that's a decent team, well coached.
I like their coach. Yeah,
Jacksonville can make some noise.
And then they're poised to win that division, especially with the Colts faltering here. Steelers Lions coming up here. This is interesting to me because I have not been high on the Steelers all year, but they just continue to do Steelers things. They're back in the lead of that division because Baltimore just has its own issues out there. Lions 8-6. They're fighting for their playoff lives as well. Coming to this, especially in their division. Right now, they're third in their division there, the Lions are. This is a heavyweight battle here. To me, going to Detroit indoors against the Steelers, to me, Steelers are I'm going to say fairly easily win this game. Lou might disagree with me here. But I do think the Lions are bringing the physicality and the Steelers just won't be able to match it, especially on the offensive side. Tell me where I'm wrong here. By the way, the public agrees with me. What scares me because Lions are 6.5-point favorites coming into this.
Yeah, they were 6 a week ago. Listen, if the Lions score first, this thing is going to be a barn-burning blowout. Pittsburgh, if I'm a gambling man, I look at Pittsburgh to score first and see what kind of odds I could get there. Because if you can get that, it becomes a game because Pittsburgh has belief. But their defense, 16th against the run. And what does Detroit do? Well, they run 5th best in the league.
They got two guys.
Strong running backs and a decent O-line. Pittsburgh, 11th against the pass. And Detroit can throw it, 6th. So you got a third-ranked offense in Detroit. They're balanced, 5th against the run, 5th run, 6th pass, and you don't know what's coming. So this is going to be a tall task for Pittsburgh, I think. And I lean to Detroit here again. What I would try and do if you want to get crazy is maybe take Pittsburgh to score first because they must get the lead and find a way to try and compete from that position.
Yeah, and you look at their schedules and everything. You're like, oh, that could be competitive, and it's just they're just Steelers.
You just can't count
Steelers
Tomlin out.
Yeah,
and then everybody's out there. Oh, Tomlin
I don't disagree.
Sucks. Tomlin is the man. If he gets fired, I can hold my breath, and by the time I let it out, he'll be hired.
Oh, I'd be all over the Cardinals going, you need a coaching change immediately. I'd be on board with you on that.
He would be a culture change.
Only thing I'm going to ask about Raiders Texans is only because it's a 14.5 point favorite for the Texans. Can you stick your head out and go Raiders on this, or it's just, this is a monumental mismatch with that Texans defense compared to the Raiders offense that can do nothing. But the Texans offense isn't that great. We saw that last week, some bunch of field goals there. 14.5 too big of a spread on this one, Lou?
I don't know. I don't have any opinion on it. The Raiders are just so terrible. Houston's got everything in front of them. They're playing for a division. But again, listen, if Houston walks into the locker room at the end of the game, a 2-point win, and they're going to be high-fiving and fired up, right?
10 wins.
So all that, I'd never give all that points. In fact, handicappers, buddies of mine, and, love double-digit dogs in the NFL. I just don't know this. There's too many other juicy pieces of meat in the buffet for me to go over after that tuna sandwich.
I don't like 14.5 point spreads. I don't care who's playing. You can beat them, of course, but I just don't like those spreads.
If Kansas City was given 14.5 to Tennessee, I'd tell you Tennessee. but 3 is a joke.
Then you got Patriots-Ravens coming up here. As I said, Patriots fighting for that division lead there against the Bills. They're 1 game up on them. They're fighting for the number 1 seed as well. Then you got the Ravens, kind of the same situation as the Steelers, struggling defensively, struggling offensively this year. 7-7 coming into this Sunday night football game. Here, do the Ravens have enough to pop up and stay competitive here, in that division, and maybe take that division lead? Patriots, I'm surprised by this. Ravens are actually 2.5 point faves coming to this game at home, over under 47.5 for Sunday night football. I'm actually shocked. Ravens are the favorite, at least according to FanDuel.
I'm not shocked, but I'm pleasant. I'm a little surprised at it. It was 1 Baltimore a week ago. Now it's 3, and it's 3 only based on the fact that New England didn't look so good last week. And for whatever reason, Baltimore's been a team of support all year long. They're 5-9 against the spread. New England 8-5-1. So maybe that leans us to Baltimore a little bit. Turnover ratio, Baltimore -4, New England dead even. I think this is going to be a good, tight, close game. Don't know what to think.
Yeah, and it's interesting enough, plus 2.5 for the Patriots, plus 100 as well on that. All the other games, they're both negative numbers, so I find that that's telling you they want you to bet on the Patriots, right?
That's telling you that they don't want to give you the 3. They're begging you to take 2.5. Why? Because NFL games land on 3 15.8% of the time. Why would I give 15.8% away? You wouldn't do it in business, and you shouldn't do it in the NFL.
Absolutely. Then we got Monday Night Football, 49ers Colts here. I've given up on the Colts' hopes this year to win the division, maybe a playoff run. We'll have to see. Niners fighting, of course, their game back from the Seahawks and Rams, fighting to stay alive in this division and keep it alive here with 3 games left for them. 6.5 point favorite for the Niners. That might actually be low in my eyes here. I'm just really high on the Niners right now. Over under 46.5 though, Lou. 6.5 point dogs for the Colts with Old Man Rivers.
Rivers showed me he could play. He went to Seattle and scared the bejeebies out of him. I got no reason to not believe in Indianapolis, especially when you look at the 25th ranked San Francisco defense. This is a great San Francisco team that if they're getting healthy at the right time, and I think they're worth a look at maybe being a little spoiler in the playoffs because they're going to make it. I'm not convinced that that 6.5 I am convinced 6.5 is too much. This is Indy's season in this game. I lean to Indy a little bit here because of the ineptitude of the San Fran D. We'll have to see. This game's in Indianapolis, so there's no excuses for Indy.
Yeah,
none at all.
I'm actually leaning to this side. Phillip Rivers didn't look. I mean, he wasn't great, but he didn't look terrible in his first game. And I think another week, now that he's taken the hits, he's in shape. He didn't show up 3 days before. I just wonder if this might be the week Phillip Rivers might, because Dale says you got one game in you. I'm wondering if this is that week where Phillip Rivers goes out there and just lights it up like old Phillip Rivers for a game.
Yeah, he is going to light it up because he's going to hand off to the running back 32 times. Second-ranked Indy rush offense against the 26th-ranked San Fran D. This is all about handing the ball off. This ain't Phillip Rivers' game. This is, I forget the name of the running back.
Jonathan Taylor.
This is JT and that powerful Indy offense line. And I think Indy and 6.5 at home, boy, they're begging you. Let's wait and see if we can get a 7.
Yeah, say wait for that 7. 6, at least on FanDuel, plus 6.5, minus 120.
There's not a 7 on the board, so again, that's why we got to kind of wait and see if you can get up there. It may not come,
and that's Monday Night Football.
Still a lot.
So that's Monday Night Football. So watch it, but you might not see that move until Sunday when everybody, like you say, gets their veins breathing.
That's right. Sunday night, you start looking at that because that's when everybody else is going to be looking at it, and they're going to be deciding what they're going to do.
I got to make up from the holiday weekend.
That's right.
So next week, Lou, you're going to join us Tuesday at 8 o'clock remotely. We'll, of course, talk. We got Christmas games coming up this week. Well, it's like I said, in terms of fan perspective, every team's pretty much been eliminated from the playoffs that you're kind of excited to see. But that means we still have NFL Christmas games out there. We'll talk about that next Tuesday. So join us with Lou next Tuesday as well. Lou, go deal with your house stuff, man. You're stressing me out with all that stuff.
You know what? It's for me, it's Christmas. That's the focus. Whatever. I mean, I'm living between 2 different locations, and there's people in every city that don't have a place to live. So I'm not going to be anxious about any crap like that. I'm totally focused on what Christmas means, and it means an awful lot to my family and others.
Absolutely. So, Lou, we'll talk to you on Tuesday. For everybody else, thank you for joining me today. Dale will be back tomorrow from his little NFL schedule trip. Maybe we'll get some details on what he had to go through.
Get a crowbar out.
And then everybody else, McCollum on Business coming up at 11. And we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great Thursday here in the main event.